Hello, I'm Mark Ryder, and I am director here at the Eastern Shore Agricultural Research and Extension Center located in Painter, Virginia. I also serve as the Soils and Nutrient Management Extension Specialist for vegetable crops as well as traditional row crops. And today I wanted to give you an update on some of the things that we have ongoing at the Eastern Shore AREC as we present here for the Eastern Shore Ag Conference and Trade Show. Since this is a virtual presentation that will be presented via YouTube, I first wanted to give you a little background about our research station here to further explain our mission and goals and what we strive to improve regarding Virginia agriculture. So the Eastern Shore AREC is located on the lower Delmarva Peninsula, and we are one of 11 different agriculture research and extension centers located around the Commonwealth. Due to our location and unique geography, we really strive to serve Eastern Shore clients for both vegetable crops as well as traditional row crops, and also clients across the state. And we have an integrated approach that really leads to economic benefits, overall farm sustainability, while ensuring that the environment is protected and that we're doing everything in an environmentally sustainable manner. So it's been a long process to start the research station and keep it ongoing here on the Eastern Shore. And the history dates back to first over in Hampton Roads, Virginia, when in 1897, a group of vegetable growers got together and formed the Southern Produce Company. This company felt like we needed to really focus on vegetable research for farmers here in Virginia. They started conducting research, hired faculty and staff, and eventually felt a need to expand to the Eastern Shore of Virginia. There were several iterations of different research locations here on the Eastern Shore, but in 1956, we landed on our current location when some land was purchased and a laboratory and office building was built, along with several outbuildings to support vegetable research here on the Eastern Shore. In 1985, we officially signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Virginia Tech and became part of the Virginia Agricultural Experiment Station here in Virginia. Our overall mission as an AREC specifically is to have our faculty, staff, and students to serve, to create, integrate, and disseminate knowledge to stakeholders by improving vegetable, grain, oilseed, and fiber crop production and sustainability, by protecting land, air, and water resources, and by fostering undergraduate and graduate education through applied and basic research. So for our overall vision and mission here at the Eastern Shore AREC is to take applied research, to learn new things that can benefit growers, industry, and other stakeholders here in the Commonwealth, and to integrate that knowledge into undergraduate and graduate education, as well as extension programming to help our farmers succeed. Due to our unique geographic location, our farming interests, and our vegetable history here on the Eastern Shore of Virginia, we have a very diverse crop list that we research and work towards sustainable farming systems. These crops range from fresh market tomatoes, snap bean, potatoes, to some newer and upcoming crops such as edamame, as well as traditional crops that we grow here in Virginia such as soybean, corn, and wheat. And of course, many other different crops that might be rotated with these main commodity crops. One of the things we are currently working on pretty heavily at the research station is cover crops to integrate into these systems for both economic benefits as well as soil improvement and environmental benefits. Overall, I am a soil fertility extension specialist, so I often mention this law of the minimum, that we strive to figure out what is causing harm to yield and or quality in our vegetable and row crop production systems. But this really spans even larger as we look at the Eastern Shore AREC as a whole, as we focus on all the different things that can improve our overall yield or quality, such as reducing weeds in our cropping system, reducing insect damage, reducing disease pathogens, making sure we have enough nutrients, which of course is my specialty, as well as irrigation management and helping farmers understand what varieties grow best here on the Eastern Shore of Virginia in our particular cropping systems. And that's one of the more unique things about the Eastern Shore AREC as compared to other research stations here in Virginia, is that due to our location on this peninsula, our weather and soils are significantly different than those research stations even across the bay on the mainland. So certainly we have a great niche here to help our farmers succeed and have many different things that we can continuously research to overall increase production and increase sustainability. So currently at the research facility, we have several different research programs that span 6 main research and extension areas. And currently 3 of those programs have active faculty and staff to keep things operating here at the station. Myself and John Mason work with the soils and nutrient management program, where we look at cover crops, fertilizers, the 4 R's, putting fertilizer in the right place, the right time, using the right method, and so forth. We have Miss Helene Dowdy, who works with Tom Kuhar on main campus through the entomology program here to help figure out pest management strategies for our crops. We have Dr. Vijay Singh and Tommy Hines that work through the weed science program to help figure out best management practices and chemistries for weed control in our Eastern Shore and Eastern Virginia vegetable and row crop production systems. We have a horticulture program that's been idle for around 2 years now, which we are currently interviewing and hopefully will fill sometime soon here in April of 2021, to focus on irrigation management of varieties, different cropping practices to improve our horticultural crops here on the Eastern Shore and in Eastern Virginia. We have a plant pathology program that currently is idled down as Steve Rideout moved to campus, but certainly he can help us out with any disease issues that you might have. And then our produce food safety program is also idled down as Laura Strawn moved to campus as well. So certainly we are growing and hoping to continue improving Eastern Shore agriculture. We also work with a lot of different personnel at Virginia Tech, since we are an outlying research station, as they range from vegetable entomology with Tom Kuhar, small grain varieties and management practices with Wade Thomason and Carl Griffey, edamame and soybeans with Dr. Bo Zong and Dr. Holzhauser, and so forth, to ensure that farmers here on the shore are getting the information that we need from these particular researchers. So due to COVID-19 and of course the challenges that the pandemic has given us for extension programming, where we're used to having things in person and to live events, we've done a few different things to hopefully reach out to continue helping farmers with plant diagnostics, working with their systems, and getting information out there to the public. So one thing we've started here is our Eastern Shore AREC newsletter, The Stalk. So if you are not receiving this, I encourage you to navigate to this web address, or you can go to your favorite search engine and type in Virginia Tech Eastern Shore AREC, The Stalk, and it'll take you to our page where we have all of these newsletters posted. And I really want to point you to this first newsletter where we outline ways to best reach us during the COVID-19 pandemic for helping you figure out what issues you have with your vegetable or row crops here on the Eastern Shore and in Virginia. So please navigate to this website, read this publication, or send us an email or text, and we'll be happy to give you a copy. But one thing I wanted to note is that we do have a table out, so if you come by and it's after hours and we're not here, you can leave samples and leave your contact information. And as always, you can email, call, or text us as well. And we are open now during the day, during normal business hours, to receive plant and soil samples to help you with diagnostics. So overall, we are working, we are open. We have 2 employees that are currently teleworking, and they are in and out of the facility. But overall, feel free to come by, drop off samples, ask questions, and so forth. The field research has continued. But one thing to note is that if you do come to our facility, is that a mask is required. So please wear a mask over your mouth and your nose. And also please sign in. And that is for COVID-19 tracking. In case something happens, we can reach out to you to let you know you were exposed, or hopefully you can reach out to us and let us know that you have symptoms, and we can conduct COVID-19 tracing. We do have limited in-person events ongoing with social distancing, and as those become available, we will certainly let you know through our email list as well, and through our newsletter, The Stalk. So just a little bit about what we're doing, especially since we might have some new ears here since this is online. The horticulture program, as I mentioned, we are interviewing, and we really hope to continue some of the great work that was being done here to serve the vegetable growers here in Eastern Virginia and on the shore, if they relate to, say, bed geometry and the effects of different bed shapes and widths and depths on tomato growth. As one example, different row covers that can help with water use requirements and improve nutrient use efficiency. We're continuing to, of course, work with potatoes. We are part of the University of Maine's and NC State University's multi-state project, where we are evaluating variety trials for potato growers here in Virginia, part of that multi-state effort. And we hope to also continue work with desiccation, reducing skinning, and so forth for potato crops, and how some different soil and fertilizer additives might improve that skinning as well. So look forward to that with our new horticulture candidate as soon as we have them on board here. Again, hopefully in early spring 2021. Dr. Vijay Singh is currently leading our weed science program here at the Eastern Shore AREC, and he began working here a little over a year ago, and he, over this time, has continued to facilitate registration and label extensions for some crops here that are important to Virginia growers. He's working with Dr. Flessner on campus regarding statewide ryegrass sampling for evaluating herbicide resistance to glyphosate and glufosinate, as well as some other equipment extensions and so forth to help reduce viable seed that are being placed back into our cropping system. And Dr. Singh is also working a lot with cover crops to manage volunteers that come up after you desiccate the cover crop, the best mixes to terminate cover crops, and so forth in these particular systems here on the Eastern Shore. Ms. Helene Dowdy is continuing to work with Dr. Tom Kuhar on campus as we have insect issues for our Eastern Shore vegetable crops. She's continuing to work on insect resistance and insect biology through some research programs ongoing here at the station. And as always, she's assisting with extension scouting, identification, and recommendation for growers, homeowners, and extension agents, pesticide recertifications, master gardener trainings, and of course 4-H bug camp. So certainly the insect program is live and well and progressing here at the Eastern Shore AREC. As far as crop and soil environmental sciences, or soils and nutrient management, we're continuing to work on some of the studies we've started over the past few years as they relate to cover crops, which is one of the main initiatives we have currently to look at different species, different cropping systems, to look at nutrient cycling, as well as potential soil improvement here on the Eastern Shore. And one of those goals is really to see how much we truly can change our crops and our soils over a short amount of time. We're continuing research on phosphorus and potassium management as they relate to poultry litter ash, other co-products of different industries, as well as some sensor management and precision egg variable rate type work for phosphorus and potassium. And we are continuing our work investigating sulfur for both vegetable crops and row crops, especially corn, small grains, and soybeans is a new interest where we are now receiving less free sulfur from acid rain, so we're looking at what sulfur might be needed here for Eastern Shore growers to have optimum yields. As far as the AREC itself, as far as improvements go over the past year or so, we are updating our facilities as we can with maintenance reserve funds. And this past year, we have pretty much rebuilt the greenhouse. So we now have much better greenhouse facilities to start transplants as well as conduct research experiments that would be important for Eastern Shore growers. We have basically replaced the glass with in the facility, cleaned and painted the frame, as well as repointed the broken blocks and waterproofed the blocks, just so the facility is not only more secure, but also it holds temperature better. We have cooling pads to allow us to better grow crops in the greenhouse over both the winter and the summer months. We're also expanding our research and extension activities as they relate to the Smart Farm Innovation Network. So this past year, Dr. Singh and myself have really focused on some different sensors and different technologies that we can implement to help Eastern Shore growers reach some of the new variable rate, precision egg thresholds and ideas that we have in our cropping systems. So with some help from the College of Agriculture, we are currently in the process of purchasing a spray unmanned aerial system aircraft, or a drone, that actually will let us do some site-specific pesticide applications in our fields. Some different technologies to help us just have more refined GPS capabilities here, as well as some portable CO2 analyzers to better measure soil organic carbon and soil respiration in some plots we have for our cover crop research. So we're really excited to get some of these technologies out there and implemented, and hopefully we'll be calling you in the near future to demonstrate some of these technologies on y'all's farms here in Eastern Virginia and on the Eastern Shore. So thank you for your time today, and as always, reach out to us. So hopefully we'll see you around the shore as we can with the COVID-19 pandemic. But as always, feel free to reach out, call us, text us, email us if you have questions or issues for your production systems.